All right. Whew. Yes, I just took a deep breath. I took a deep breath because I am finally going to do something that I really needed to do. Look at my face because I don't have nothing on, of course, which is good because I'm a natural anyways. That I've been wanting to do for the longest. This has been a goal of mine since 2022. Of course, it's 2023 now. This may be posted after the new year or before the new year of 2024. I want to share my journey of my pregnancy. So here we go. This is a big relief for me. This is my story. So it all started in the end of May, around the time I was working. I was working as a lead GSRP teacher. During the time I was preparing for my students' graduation, which is the first in person graduation since the pandemic. And I was very excited and thrilled to attend. However, I was experiencing lots of pain that I've been dealing with, pain, pressure of swelling in my legs, my knees, my arms, my face, all over. I didn't understand why it was happening. Kind of my senses, I was thinking it could be preeclampsia. People were saying it to me, and my doctors was ignoring the signs and just said that it just normal was part of pregnancy. In my mind, I knew that didn't seem right. I'm like, that's not true. That can't be it, you know? I'm sharing my story, so it's a lot. So it's a lot to me because everybody stuff they deal with a lot. So anywho, the swelling has not went away. You all will see the pictures. It continued and continued. It started the end of my birthday, right on my 30th birthday, April 29th. And it proceeded. Then I wasn't concerned, but by the time around the graduation, I was concerned. Here's the reason why I was concerned. So it got so bad where I told my boss during the time that is a way I can leave work early. I'll work half a day, but I really need to go. By me being a committed teacher, of course, I care of my child first. But it was just really bearing on me that I needed to be there for the last few days of work and get through the day. I was like, I'll go leave work early. I'll take myself into emergency because I knew it just did not seem right. So, however, I took myself in emergency, wobbling and all, swollen. I'm talking about swollen. I get into emergency. I check in. I think it was called the triage or something like that. I don't know about heart. And this was at Beaumont Hospital in Royal Oak. I check in. They check my blood pressure. It was like 170 over 90, or probably higher than that. 190, I believe, or 70, something like that. I don't know about heart. It's really, really high. They were like, "You're not going anywhere. You're staying here. You're admitted." And I was like, "Why?" Is like, because your blood pressure is too high. It's skyrocketing. It's not safe. You can have a stroke or anything. So I was very disbelieved, like shocked and overwhelmed. Like, oh my God, why is this happening?
Kind of everything that's been going on so far in your pregnancy, because and I'm sure you've been already told a little bit about what we're worried about, which is preeclampsia.
Yeah, I'm so nervous about that.
Yeah, and we don't take that diagnosis lightly when people are very preterm, because it can have implications in terms of preterm delivery and things like that.
Yes, for sure.
So we always want to make sure we're gathering all of the information we can and speaking with you.
Yes.
And figuring out the best way forward for you that's safest for you and the baby.
Okay? Yes, for sure.
So we just wanted to confirm a couple of things.
Just
I know you've
so
probably told the story a couple of times, but just to confirm. So it sounds like you've had high blood pressure outside of pregnancy?
Yes, a little bit prior, yes.
Okay. And
on and off.
And you had been on a medication called Procardia.
Yeah, and I didn't like
on,
that.
But you stopped.
Yes, and that was like right before I got pregnant.
Okay.
And then they actually put it on there while I was pregnant because I found out right during the time.
Sure.
So,
And had you stopped that medication when you first saw Dr. Mousy?
Yes, because that medicine made me have very bad headache.
Gotcha.
Super drowsy. So I went to the Labetalol, which they were already thinking that to try that out anyways, because that would probably be better, of course.
So you got started on the Labetalol, and you were taking 100 milligrams twice a day, and they were following your blood pressures, and your blood pressures were actually kind of low.
Yeah, it went low. So she was like, "No, I don't want you to take that. But do take the baby aspirin.
Okay.
So you won't get the preeclampsia."
Sure.
So I was doing that, and I thought I was in a good position, but for some reason it just went.
It kind of sounds like this week things changed quickly.
Yes, and I think it's because of work, mainly. I think that really increased it. Because I was telling her it's my last week of work. Yes, it was my kid's graduation.
I see.
My kid's graduation, and a lot of stressors would change and.
Yeah.
Moving and just getting everything together.
And you first noticed that you were having swelling.
Like 2 weeks ago. It started in my ankles and feet, and then in the legs it started like the end of last week.
Okay, so over the last few days it sounds like it's been getting worse.
And when I went to nurse, Lori Nurse, because I had to do the the glucose. She looked at it and it wasn't bad when I went during the time, but it got worse. Like a day after that.
I see. And with the swelling,
and especially when I went to work, it makes it
sure
shoots up more. And I was like, okay. And then compression socks weren't working because she's telling me what to do, even with my hand, because this is still it's numb and stuff. And this is the worst. I was just like waking up like crying, like I can't brush my teeth.
It's uncomfortable.
So
for sure.
I'm just like, why do I have to have this happen? I had literally the first trimester, nausea and stuff like that. I threw up like once or twice. And then the second, it was going really good in the beginning, and then got close, and then just hit me right out of the blue. Yeah, I was doing so great.
Actually, that's kind of what can happen with preeclampsia.
I know.
It kind of shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah, and that's what it did. I was moving around at work with the kids, trying to work out, eat healthy, and it just happened.
It sounds like your blood pressure shot up around the same time.
Yes.
Okay. And when you got here, they had to give you quite a bit of medication to get it under control.
Yes.
And that was a huge change because it was low, and then all of a sudden it was super high.
Yes.
And so now we've had the blood pressure medication back on, the Labetalol 3 times a day, and then the other.
Well, because she had me take it on the thing 1 time a day. I think I remember.
I think it was twice.
Something like that.
So now we're gonna do 3 times, and so the other piece. So there's the swelling, the high blood pressure, and then the other piece is the lab values. So with preeclampsia, we can see changes in your liver function, your kidney function, your blood counts,
right?
And sometimes even changes that put you at risk for too much bleeding.
Oh Jesus!
And we're seeing some changes in your liver function.
Yeah, that's what I was nervous about.
So, yeah, those numbers are up a little bit. And sometimes, after we get things under control a little bit, that will start to stabilize.
Okay.
And we're early on here in figuring out everything that's going on. But, based on everything put together, we do think that this is preeclampsia.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. And because of how high your blood pressure is, we do think it's severe preeclampsia.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes. And I'm sure they probably told you this, but that's a diagnosis that means that people stay in the hospital until delivery.
Oh God.
I know. So there's a little bit more information.
So if there's a way it can be managed, like say for example after 3 days or something, will there be a way you go out and just be on bed rest at home and somebody monitor you?
That's not our recommendation.
Oh,
I know, and that's a lot of information.
God. All the way the whole summer.
So our goal would be.
So anyways, continuing my story, I decided to go ahead and just be admitted. I was crying to my boyfriend. Why is this happening to me? I couldn't understand none of it. Calling mom, my sister, and everybody, this is a lot, I just could not take the pain. And then I called my job, which during the time, unfortunately, was not too much understanding, but maybe some people were, but they weren't giving that vibe to me at least. the same day of my student's graduation, that I could not make it back. I wasn't going to be in bed and make it back to the see them graduate. And that really hurted me because I came up with a song for them to do and everything. And those students mean a lot to me, but also my child meant a lot to me, number one, of course. So I had to take priorities first, and that was me and my child. So I was admitted hospitalized, the scary moment of my life that I have never ever experienced as a woman. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this for real. As a woman, the scariest moment of my life. I promise you that. Um, it was so scary. It's the reason why I'm sharing my story now. It's like it's late, but it's better late than never. I am just finally getting the courage to do this because I want to be able to help another mom or someone else. I'm not gonna get too much into detail, but what I'm gonna say is this, right? I was hospitalized all the way until June. No, all the way into the end of July, at least in the July, middle of July. And my boyfriend stayed by my side through the entire way. It was the most heartbreaking, saddest moment of my life, okay? But I was also happy to be safe and know that I was alive each day. Each day I didn't know I was gonna make it while I was hospitalized. It was scary. Lots of IVs, lots of blood pressure checks, lots of interruptions during the night. A check on my blood pressure over and over again, me feeling anxiety and scared because I don't know if me and my baby gonna be okay the next day or we're gonna make it through the night. Lots of walking around in pain. Some days I couldn't even walk, but I got up every day with strength. Like I'm gonna move because I'm not gonna be stuck in this bed. I'm not gonna die here. My child's not gonna die here. We're gonna make it. So, we'll come to find out, I was diagnosed with preeclampsia. You're gonna get some clips. You're gonna see about it all. Not too much, but a little bit. My journey with it. It wasn't easy at all. Um, I dealt with lots of nurses that was helpful, but most of them weren't helpful. They were not doing what they supposed to do. So, um, I'm just here to try to help out someone else, like I said before, and just to release this burden and stress I felt like that's been on my heart and mind for the last, might as well say 2 years now, or a year and a half, whatever amount. So moving along, I end up having my baby girl on June 4th, 2022. Yes, baby girl. We did not know what she was. We didn't know what she was at all. We had a great pregnancy. We wanted to be a surprise. We didn't want to do a gender reveal. So I ended up having her through a C-section. Now, this C-section, okay? Let me tell y'all. People are like, oh, C-section is so easy, so easy. No, it's not. No, it's not. Mentally, it's not easy. Physically, it's not easy. Um, is the reason why I say this, especially in my situation, is because I was diagnosed with extreme severe preeclampsia to the max, where you can have a stroke or heart attack, anything, um, to cause you to be at complications with the pregnancy, and probably have to have a C-section. So what happened is I end up having to go into like a emergency kind of C-section. I wasn't warned. The reason why I wasn't warned is they came to check on my baby. I thought it was a normal night, and we couldn't have no visitors at all. No visitors in the hospital. And they came out of the blue and told me they moved me to the delivery room. I'm like, why you moved me to the delivery room? I'm not having my baby yet. They told me already that I can possibly make it until August. No, and did not make it. So, or they said I can at least make it to like 2 weeks or something. They knew that they told me, my doctor told me she was not too much of a good doctor to expect her to be. And she was Black African American like me. So I really expected high of her, and I heard of her prior before in the past, but no, I didn't receive the feedback that I thought I was going to receive. She cared enough to get the baby on delivered right away, but she was not there to support me when I had my baby. She wasn't nowhere near in sight. They told me she was off for the weekend. She was not going to show up, which I understand that. But in this situation, I told her I was scared. I needed her to walk with me through the way through. So, anywho, like I said, I had my baby on June 4th, 2022. The reason being is because I was forced into C-section. Granted, I know I said forced. Yes, it was forced because it was not planned. I did not know that it was going to happen that day. I did not get prepared or at least any knowledge that it would occur. They brought me in the living room next night and said, you're having this baby, and that's it. Because what happened is my blood pressure goes up every time. Me and my boyfriend know when I was getting stressed during the middle of the night, nurses kept checking my blood. It make me stress when it goes up, but it goes down and will manage itself. Okay. So I have allergies, so I keep up my nose. So, anyways, it was just a really, really scary situation. I thank God to this day that, we made it through. I didn't want to do that. I was so, like, me and boyfriend was scared. I didn't know what to do at all. I didn't know which route to go. I was calling my father, my mother, my sister, everybody just trying to figure out which route to do. Excuse me. I did not know. So I went ahead and just did a C-section. She came. My mind, I had to just put it behind, like, this is for me, my baby got to be alive. This is for her, number one. And we just wrote it out and did it. It's an experience that I would never, ever, ever forget.
Going into labor way early. Did not want to do this right away. But may God bless it. Work in favor. Very nervous. Andrew, you wanna, right? Come on.
Yeah, she can have her phone. Yes.
Andrew, come on. You're so slow. Like too. Can you take glasses?
Do our thing, you know?
Yeah. Can you take glasses off, please? This is all unexpected. Ouch.
Well, you kind of
Broke my eyeball.
Sorry.
You tucked them
I
in
had a
there.
video
You
of
kind of
it.
assistant with that, though.
Yeah.
All right,
Going
we'll
back.
see in a little bit once we get her all cleaned up.
Remind you, I was born as a preemie as well, but my daughter was born at least 1 pound and baby like 1 pound and 1.5 ounces. I don't know. My boyfriend, which is crazy, he knows about her. I should know about her, but I don't. But she was very tiny. She was the size of his hand. And we stuck by her side. She's been NICU all the way up until August 7th when she was released. So I'm telling you, day in and out, I was at the NICU learning I know the whole NICU routine. I was doing the whole checklist for my child every time I saw her, changing her diaper, making sure her IV is good in her arm. Thank God she did not have to go through the severity I thought she would go through by being born so early. She just had to have the regular because of her being born early. She didn't have to have all the other stuff, and she was so strong. She was so tough through the whole process. We stuck right by her side, me and her dad, every single day, day in, out, day in, out, day in, out. We couldn't have any other visitors. So it was just me and him. He brought it through. And plus, we didn't want people to see her like that. It was not the right time. So to this day, she's very, very strong and she's thriving. Whew. Big release. Big release. I'm just happy that I'm able to share my story. I didn't get too much into detail of it, too much, but if you have any questions, you can always ask me, drop a download, whatever. Um, just know, woman, preeclampsia is very, very serious. I did not know that I had preeclampsia until close to the end of my pregnancy. And you have to make sure you take care of yourself, drink lots of water. Do not let anyone stress you out. Do not worry about work. And when I tell you do not worry about work, I mean this. When my daughter was born, after I had her, I did not think about work at all. I stayed off. I stayed off for the whole entire year, even longer after she was born, okay? I stayed off. I did not work because she mattered to me, and that's all I cared about. And I promise you, it was very beneficial. And if I ever have another child again, I would know how to go about differently. But there's no plan though for motherhood. It's not going to be perfect, but it's all about how you fight, how you get through it. What you do is what matters. That's all. You protect your child, protect yourself so you can protect your child. You have to protect yourself first so you can protect your child. People always say protect your child first. Yes, you do protect your child, but if you're not okay, your child is not going to be okay. So always remember that when you carry a baby. In general in life, after the baby's born, too, any children you have. But preeclampsia is no joke. Check your blood pressure. Make sure that you're good. And I'm small. People thought I'm not overweight. It was nowhere near overweight, but the swelling was so much fluid in my body and all that pressure that caused it to be a lot of weight on me. It was lots of pressure, but we made it through. It was a long way through. Lots of tears crying, lots of not knowing what to do nights, lots of knowing if we're gonna make it the next day nights. But we made it, and you can too. I promise you.
Yes, I've done it. Maybe. So, okay.
I think it's a postpartum nurse.
So I'm here to tell you all, thank you so much for listening to my story. I finally released it. It's not all in pieces, but I'm gonna tell y'all this, like I said, don't let nobody come between you and your children. Always, whether they are as small as this, okay, in your belly. You do what you have to do to protect your child. And don't feel shameful. Don't feel like you're a bad person. You're a bad woman. You did what you're supposed to do. And have all the support that you can get. And most importantly, keep God close to you. Pray to God and have faith. Have the strength. Think about all the positives. And keep in your mind that it's going to be okay. Don't think any negative thoughts, even though they're going to come in your mind, because you're going to go to postpartum. I went through it later on after I had her. It didn't hit me until then. But this is my story, and hope you're able to share your story too. Thank you so much for listening. Take care. Bye. Well, not bye. See you next time. That's going to be my new saying. See you next time. Thank you for listening. Peace out.